I've been spending the last couple of days out here in the bus working on the floor. We've got all this insulation put into these cavities, and we've also got some done on the other side. What I've been doing in places like this where we got a deep cavity is I build it up in layers. I start out with 2-inch thick foam and I fit it in here fairly tight, and then I use the expanding foam. You can see I spray it in all around these pieces of paintboard, and I also use special adhesive when I sandwich these together, and hopefully that'll keep everything tight and I won't get any squeaks when I'm going down the road and this stuff. But the expanding foam really does a nice job, especially when I put it in an area like this. When it expands, it pushes on the paintboard and really tightens everything up nice, and also cushions it and keeps it hopefully from squeaking. But, that's what I've been doing. I've been building these up like that. Then I use different thicknesses. If I get towards the top and I got about a 1/2 inch, I'll just use a piece of 1/2 inch. You can see some come out here where I've sprayed it in around the edges, and that's pretty sturdy. Well, I've got this along this wall done. Unfortunately, there really isn't much I can do right in here, because we've got some insulated pipes that run through there. I think that is something to do with the air conditioning system. I'm not 100% positive.
I think it comes up to this heater core up here.
Oh, that could be also, yeah.
Don't know.
So, something to do with the HVAC system. Not really much I can do, because I also have to leave that open because it's also part of the cold air return. So, on this side I was able to insulate the floor of it a little bit. We didn't have any pipes in the way over there. I'm going to do the same down through the center. First piece of flooring cut. It's tongue and groove flooring, 3/4 inch thick. So I don't need to add any support underneath where they join together, since it's the tongue and groove. Bonjour, everybody out there in YouTube land. For those of you that don't know, bonjour is an Anishinaabe greeting. It can be used for hello or goodbye, the same way that the Hawaiians would use aloha. It's a new morning out here for me on the bus. I should say camp, because I'm working on this floor during my vacation. So I guess camp is going to have to be a state of mind for now. So that's what we're doing. You can see where I left off last night. I got 8 feet of flooring in along each side wall, and I have insulation put in along the floor of the cold air return. And I had mentioned last time about this piping here in the floor, insulated pipes, and I didn't really know if I was going to be able to put some insulation in there, but I thought it over and I decided that I might as well just go ahead and put some in there. I've got some expanding foam in around the paintboard, in around the pipes. Also there's a section up front there you can see I've got in there with expanding foam. Also on part of the floor right here, I just sprayed in some foam. It hasn't fully expanded yet. I only sprayed that in about 10 minutes ago. I'm hoping that this expanding foam is going to kind of come up. You can see how it is right there. Going to kind of come up over the edge and kind of trap that paintboard in there. I've also put some adhesive on underneath it. I don't have a whole lot of faith in styrofoam adhesive, but I'm using it anyways. Also right here in the front, I did put a sheet metal screw with a washer on there just to kind of hold that down. I've got this idea in my head that there's a possibility that when I turn this HVAC system on, there might be enough force that there's a possibility it could catch a corner of the foam, and I don't want to go down the road, turn that on and start hearing a with the foam vibrating. So I'm trying to attach this down as best I can. You can see along here in this ductwork, I run around the edges with some caulking. It's really expanding, or pink board or styrofoam board adhesive. I use it as a caulk to keep any air from getting underneath there and lifting that up and causing any. I keep putting the pink board in on the floor of the ductwork. Good expanding foam in these cross members. I'm going to do a little more here tonight, and then I'm probably going to call it. Now we've got to deal with this over the rear wheel wells. This is a good place to pack as much styrofoam in as I can over those wheel wells and around those cold air ducts. I started cleaning out the inside of this duct here. It's a cold air return, and I vacuumed out what was inside here, and it was like a real sticky, gooey, creepy kind of crud. So it was so bad. I'm going to take this hose right off on each end, and I'm going to clean the inside of that hose as well. Got 4 of these, one on each side of each wheel well. So I don't know, this might take a while. They were pretty gross in there. Well, that didn't clean up too bad. Still got some black stuff in there, but that is some type of sealer or an adhesive they used when they built the bus. So I could probably get that out with a little bit of solvent, but that's not going to bother me so much. All the as long as all the old DNA's out of there, I'm happy with that. Well, I took the hose outside and sprayed that good with the garden hose, and that cleaned up pretty well. So I guess we can put this back together. I'm gonna do the same to the other 4. Hey everybody, it's looking like I'm about ready to call it quits out here for today. I'll show you how much I've got done over here. You can see I've got this last bit of ductwork insulated on the floor. Over the driver's side wheel well, I packed that about as tight as I could with pink board. I sprayed the expanding foam in all around the gaps. And if you remember earlier, I cleaned out those areas where the cold air goes in. Also cleaned inside of the flexible hose. Ran a garden hose down through there, and then I had to get in there with some cleaner and scrub it. But I got them pretty clean. Hey, bonjour there. Well, it's Saturday morning, and I'm going to get started on the bus. Why don't you come on in, and I'll show you what we're going to do, and we can get started. Well, I told you yesterday all about what we did in here, and we got to do it again today on this wheel well. So I guess if we're going to try and get as much done today as we can, we got to get started on it. We got to pull everything out of there and clean everything up and start packing in the foam. And, well, I got the panel removed, and pretty much what I expected to find under there. Just fiberglass, insulation, the old-fashioned stuff. I'm going to pull that out of there and put the pink board in there, and then we can put our floorboards on. Okay, now we've got the side pieces done. Now I just got to do it in the center here. I pulled this piece of aluminum up, and same thing as on the sides. Everything in there is packed with the yellow fiberglass. I'm going to pull that out. We'll fill that with styrofoam and put the floor down, and we are just about finished here. We finally got this floor in. Got it in Sunday afternoon, and since it was fairly early in the afternoon, I had a little more time. I went ahead and did some work on the back of the bus where there's this little seat area. Here you can see we've got it all in. The little boards on the side, these are what I use to hold the windows open when I'm working out here. We also got started on the floor with some masking tape, just trying out a few different floor plans. That's kind of fun. And you can see right up here in the back, this little step-up area. Had enough time on Sunday. I was able to frame that off similar to the way I framed off the back wall. Put the pink board in there and put the plywood on it. Probably didn't really need to use 3/4 inch on the side, but I had it left over in the floor, so figured what the heck, I might still use it up. Access panel there to get to the alternator is still functional. There's also an access panel up here. I just cut a piece of plywood, set it in there. It's just held in by a few screws, easy enough to take out, and you can still get access to the engine through there. So that worked out good. So worked out here all week, pretty much every day, 6 to 8 hours to get this floor down. It was a pretty good sized job, but we got it done, and it's a milestone. I feel like we now have a blank canvas, so we can finally start building and laying things out. Well, I'd like to thank y'all for watching, and I hope this video has been enjoyable, and I hope it helps some of you out there that are working on some of these old buses. We'll keep you posted on the update, and bonjour.